thank you so much for showing up today. I am so grateful for you. Today, I want to talk about overworking and that feeling of nothing is good enough and you're never going to reach the goal, that it's just so far out of the realm of possibilities because you just don't see anything aligning, and how you can get out of that. I think we lose maybe the why in what we are doing when we are trying to measure ourselves against accolades and success, because we stop thinking about the purpose behind why we were driven to do that thing, whether it is to start a business or to win an award at work or to be the best mom or spouse or to get that fit, perfect body. We forget what motivated us to stay in the energy of that thing. We all have to have a why. Without a purpose, we essentially have meaningless direction. We are working towards something, but it's not actually going to materialize or manifest because we don't actually stay in the energy of the why. We start forcing desperate energy because we shift out of the why and into the when. We will never know when and how something's going to work out. That is the universe, the creator, who's going to give us that. But we aren't going to actually reach that until we match our energy with the universe, with the creator. In the hardest of times, when I was as low as I could get, when I had $400 in my bank account, when I had stress, when everything felt like it was falling apart around me, the one thing that kept me healthy and in the mindset that everything was possible is knowing that the universe is always going to protect me and the universe is always going to match my energy. So however I got to this point, I can get out of it by just reframing the situation. But it does not happen overnight. We don't just all of a sudden think that things are going to work out and they work out. It's not just like a change in our language. It's an emotion we experience internally. And the why we started something is an emotion, because we feel so much passion and conviction to do that thing. That dream was placed in your heart because it was meant for you to pursue. That's why we have different dreams, you and I, because your dream was completely given to you by the universe, by the creator. And my dream was given to me by the universe. And we were given different dreams, different things to pursue in this life. But when we lose sight of that because we think it's becoming too hard, because we are burning ourselves out, because we're not listening to our bodies, and we are in that hustle energy, in that lack mindset, we start to operate from fear. And fear is the opposite energy of the universe. Fear is low vibe energy. Fear will always keep you stressed and worrying, because fear and faith cannot coexist. You can't love and hate. We want to elevate to the frequency of faith, to the frequency of knowing that something is way bigger than us, that something out there created us, that gave us these dreams, that placed this thing in our heart, that gave us the opportunity to create it. When you remember your why, you show up with a different attitude every day. There was a time when I got lost in what to post on social media, because when I shifted my business, I didn't know how to speak to the new clientele, so my new target market. I was still trying to speak to the people that I had been speaking to in my previous business. And I felt so discouraged about showing up every day because I didn't know how to show up, because I lost sight of my why. My why was just delivering the message that was downloaded to me out to the universe. I didn't have to try to force the audience. I didn't have to curate the language or speak in a certain way. All I had to do was be truly authentically aligned and stay in the why. Stay in the emotion, stay in the energy, stay in the purpose of the mission. No matter what you're doing in life, we all have a why. There's a reason why we want to get married. There's a reason why we want to buy a house. There's a reason you want to take a trip or why you want to have kids, why you want to start a business, whatever it is. When you hold on to that why, that emotion, and you live in that energy, because there are going to be hard days, there are going to be challenges. Nothing is going to be handed to any one of us. And even if it is for the lucky, if you want to consider them lucky, they still have to prove that they can sustain it, that they can hold it, because things can be taken away just as fast. So I hardly think of anything as luck. I think it's energy that's matched with us in that frequency. Because when something is not energetically aligned, it can also be removed. So when you stay in that energy and you remember that why, that purpose, whatever that is that drives you, you start to operate differently. You stay in faith that it's going to happen. You find positive reasons and reinforcement on those hard days. You see things as happening for you, not to you. You find something beautiful to be grateful for in the hardships. You become your own cheerleader. You actually become the highest version of yourself when you start embodying that person. And then one day you look at yourself and you don't even recognize yourself because you're the person that you've been idolizing and you didn't even notice it. You've created this level of trust and self-love internally, and you believe in your why with so much conviction that it's that magnetism and that energy and that passion that other people now become obsessed with. That is how they build trust with you, when they feel your energy. We can all see through anybody. We can see through anything that you're trying to say or sell on social media. It's the people who are not really genuinely aligned with their why and their sole purpose and who they authentically are that we can see through, that aren't moving the needle. And those are also the people who quit when the going gets tough. And you're not one of those people. You're someone who has a gift that needs to be given, that needs to be shared with the world, that needs to be lived. You are someone who is empowered, who takes challenges and creates opportunities, who manifests miracles. You are someone who has every opportunity that is going to happen already on your timeline, and you are just in that faith and that conviction that it is coming. And you are stepping into that embodiment every day, one step at a time. So today, don't lose sight of the dream that was placed in your heart. Don't lose sight of your why, of the mission, of the purpose. Don't lose the energy that you started with just because you haven't reached the destination. The destination is there. You're getting there, baby. We're not losing sight of that. All these other little detours are just redirections to either get you there faster, get you there more sustainably, or get you there the right way because you might be on the wrong path. Trust that the universe has your back and that you have your own back, that you know where you're meant to be because you're living soul aligned. You are truly authentically living the embodiment of your highest self. And you are your highest self. You are that version of yourself because you are in this energy. So today, please, please don't let whatever feels like a setback hold you down. Look at it as a setup and the redirection as a shorter path. And all the negative chatter in your brain, that's just old, outdated programs that aren't aligned with this highest self. So just Control, Alt, Delete. We don't want any of that. We're not taking any of this outdated old program into this new highest version of ourselves. We're not letting the external world dictate what we can do. We're not letting things that may seem challenging keep us from materializing everything that was meant for us. That dream that was placed in your heart was placed in your heart for a reason. You just have to remember your purpose and stay in the energy of that when things feel tough. Have that conviction, believe in yourself. I love you so much. Please know that everything, every single thing is possible for you. And it is up to you to believe that. I'll see you on the next one.